What's up, guys? It's Crash. I have a huge Arena Breakout Infinite video for you guys today. I want to talk about everything coming within Season 2. They released a roadmap as well as did a devlog in Chinese. I read through the subtitles of that to get you guys the good information about what is coming to this game in Season 2. Really quickly, PSA about the channel. You guys have noticed that uploads have been less and less. I have a lot of stuff going on with my work schedule changing, with family. I also have a genetic heart issue that popped up. I have a heart procedure kind of surgery thing coming up in a couple weeks. So one of these things had to give, and that has been regular uploads to the YouTube channel. So thank you for sticking with me. We have been able to continue the podcast every Thursday evening right here, as well as almost daily streams after my family goes to bed over on twitch.tv/crash8. Been playing a ton of Arena Breakout. I miss making videos about all the Battlefield leaks and stuff going on. That used to be my thing, and I've been missing that really bad, but we're keeping the podcast going. We're also keeping streams going over on twitch.tv/crash8. And we are in the Twitch enhanced broadcasting beta. So those streams have been in 4K, and we've had a lot of fun over there. Been trying to increase the quality of streams because that's all that I have time to do. So quick PSA about everything. Hopefully we can get back eventually one day to making videos, news videos for you guys, because that's what I like to do. I like talking about games. I like talking about the industry, hearing from you guys down in the comments. That's what I love. But anyway, enough of that. Let's get into the content that we're going to see with Arena Breakout Infinite. It has been a long time. Everybody knows, you know it, I know it, everybody knows it. Season 1 lasted way too long. So it took them a while to get around to what we're calling the Season 2, in my opinion. It's going to be called Ignition. We're getting a new map. They did say in the devlog, after they kind of revealed everything, that they are going to get onto a quarterly big update cycle. So hopefully this season was delayed because they were working on later seasons to have them kind of ready to rock. So instead of 6-month seasons or whatever this was, we're going to start to see more 3-month seasons, which I think will benefit the game quite a bit, because if you guys look at the mobile version of Arena Breakout, there's a lot of stuff in there that hopefully will make its way over to the PC version, and I think it will be a really cool game. And there's some tidbits in here that I did not expect. So if you're looking at the roadmap, some of the big things that are on there right away are the awards. We're going to talk about the monetization in a little bit, because thank goodness they changed it. A big move in the right direction. Northridge, that's going to be the marquee feature that I'm excited to play. I've been playing, I think I'm one of the only kind of content creators for this game that really likes to play Valley. So I like the gunfights on Valley. It's a big open map. And when you get into gunfights, that's when extraction shooter gunfights and the unpredictability of those start to shine. Tons of flank routes, tons of places to move to. I like soloing. I like playing tactically. I like listening for audio cues and making plays on it. So Northridge is going to be right up my alley. I should be able to stream it early. I think I'm going to be able to get early access. The whole season itself is going to launch April 29th. I think I got accepted into the content creator program to be able to stream that for you guys on April 10th. I'll probably take off some work because I'm really excited to play this. So Northridge kind of reminds me a lot of Shoreline from Escape from Tarkov. You kind of have a river in the middle, big wooded area around, and a massive resort in the middle. So it's going to be tons of fun to check that out. Snipers are going to reign supreme. There's going to be new bosses. So in the trailers, you guys can see bosses on like TV Station, Armory. Some of the maps that don't traditionally have those yet are getting new bosses. So there's going to be 4 new bosses. The gameplay I'm excited about is Secure Ops. So Secure Ops is basically where you go in and you're not going to lose your stuff. All the loot that you get will be automatically sold at a discounted rate, so you can't make as much, but you're also not risking as much. And while that kind of sounds like it defeats the purpose of an extraction shooter, why I'm looking forward to this is because it's going to give me an opportunity to learn a map like TV Station, right? TV Station is a small, it's kind of like Labs from Tarkov. It's a small, fast-paced map, lots of fighting and stuff like that. But if you go into it, you're going to play against people who are tier 5 and tier 6 that play it all the time and who are really good at it. And it's expensive. I literally have to play other maps, save up money, and then I can run a few TV stations, lose my gear, have to reset. It's been a long time for me to try to learn TV Station. Once I learn it, once I learn the angles, the routes, stuff like that, I think I'll really like it. But Secure Ops is going to give you that chance to get the mechanics down without draining your funds or your stash. It also, in my opinion, is another reason they need to remove buying in-game Cohen, because if you can play Secure Ops, you can still play all the maps and stuff like that and not lose it. So I don't know why anyone would swipe their credit card. But anyway, I digress. We'll talk about that in a little bit too. Solo Ops, another big one coming. Now, I have a few concerns about Solo Ops. We're going to see how it plays, but that is a solo only mode. And if you are a solo player, that should get you really excited. They're first going to test it on the Northridge map. But when you play the game, there is an issue where every once in a while, it's done this to me in farm, I'll play solo and it'll spawn me next to like a super kitted out 4 stack. And that's just like an instant GG's. but solo ops will give solo players the opportunity to play against other solo players. They are going to increase the quote unquote team count. So there's going to be more spawns and teams. That could get a little goofy. We'll see how close we spawn to each other as solo players. The thing I worry about with solo modes is camping. I don't know if solo mode is going to make people play ultra campy or not. I do worry about that just a little bit. That could be a situation, because if people are playing solo, it happens in battle royales and solo modes. In my opinion, people just hold up in buildings and they wait a really long time. One of the beautiful parts about soloing against other squads is other squads move around a lot, right? Because they're confident, you know, strength in numbers. If you're playing with a 3 or 4 stack, you guys are running around the map looking for trouble, you know, trying to get to the loot spots and stuff like that. If you're a solo player, you're playing quiet, you can move at your own pace, you can move quietly, and you can hear those teams moving around before they hear you, and you can make a play on them. In solo ops, I feel like it's going to be a lot of death to bushes and a lot of death to people in windows. They are making some changes to bush audio, which should help with that, but I worry about solo ops just a little bit. Team elimination. So we got some like arena type modes coming. Team elimination, which kind of sounds like team gunfight, which I did have fun in Call of Duty. Any kind of round based one life mode I'm here for. So I'm looking forward to trying team elimination. I think it's like just a one life TDM. I'm not sure how that's going to work with the clock running out. If people just stay on their side of the map, like we'll have to see what kind of mechanics they have to kind of, if the clock starts to run out, how they can push the action. Team deathmatch coming as well. That'll be nice for warming up and checking out and messing around with the mechanics. Another one of the big things we have coming is new weapons. Now, there are 6 of them. AK-12 and SVT are the main like ARs and looks like a marksman rifle. The MCX is coming as well. And then you have the MA-45. It's like a modernized 45 1911. Then you have the Glock 17 and the FN-57. Awesome handguns. You guys also might have saw in the trailer that there looked to be a new sidearm equipping feature where, you know, you can still have your primary up and just switch to your sidearm really fast, keeping both guns up. COD's had this for a little bit, but that could really be useful, because when I look and I see, I'm kind of bummed out that 3 of the new guns are just going to be pistols. Those don't get used very often. But if there's new mechanics in there that make switching to your pistol much faster than reloading, that might make pistols viable and be a good reason to have 3 new handguns coming with this season. So that'll be good. Also, I do remember them. Don't quote me on this because this wasn't in the information I looked at today. I thought they were going to be adding a gear cap to normal modes, which could be an interesting play if there are a strong pistol. You know, if there's a strong and viable pistol, you can kind of tier up with your armor, you know, go in with a handgun and kind of get under that limit, but still be really competitive in the normal mode. So we'll see. Pistols might be a way to get kind of around the loadout cap in normal modes if they do end up adding that, which I hope they do. AK-12 is going to be great. SVT has a little bit of worry to me. I feel like it could be like the BM52 where you can put really good ammo. You can even put like tier 7 red ammo because it's 7.62 by 54. You could put some really crazy ammo in a super cheap gun, and that can be annoying to die to. So we'll have to see how the SVT plays out. Hopefully there's not very many good scopes or anything like that to kind of balance it out a little bit. One thing that's on the roadmap that I forgot they talked about, but I'm excited about, is kill cams outside of raid. So when you're outside of the raid, you'll be able to go back and watch your kill cams. And I don't think it can be understated how awesome having a kill cam in an extraction game is. There's been so many times where I thought I died to something weird. I thought I died to a cheater. Sometimes I think I died to a camper, and then go ahead and watch the kill cam, and it's like, oh, it just was bad timing. Or this person saw me or heard me before I saw or heard them. Plethora of things can go wrong, and it's really cool to have that closure. Or in the rare instance, it can be a cheater, but there hasn't been too many cheaters in this game. Now, the other things that they talked about, they did a dev blog. Like I said, it was in Chinese. I read the subtitles and I talked about it. This is where they reiterated they want to switch over to the quarterly content cycle, which I very much like. You will be able to get a free 2x2 case within the battle pass, so that is good. It did appear like, unfortunately, that's only a 30-day 2x2 container like they have. The monetization is still not great. They took a step in the right direction because they did confirm there's going to be a direct purchase of skins. Right now, as it sits, it is atrocious. You guys know that. You have to buy... it's very mobily, right? You have to buy a spin. You have to take a spin at a chance to get from the collection the skin that you want, but there's a bunch of stickers and crap and stuff you don't want. So it's terrible gotcha mechanic. They're getting rid of that. You're going to be able to buy the skins that you want to. So that is really good. The secure containers still cost some money, which I don't really like. And also they did not mention taking out the ability to purchase in-game coin. I can make a totally another video about how this game has hurt its reputation being technically able to be considered pay to win with the coin. I've played it. I haven't spent money on it. I'm rocking a free 2x2 right now. I made it all the way to the legend rank without paying for anything. So I mean, you can play the game without buying coin. It's so silly that it's in there. I wish they would do other ways to monetize their game, because if they did not have these kind of microtransactions and these what, like I said, you could argue back and forth about pay to win, but if they took that out of there, I would have no trouble supporting this game with my money, because over this first season, I've put about 200 hours into it and had a ton of fun streaming this game. It plays absolutely great. It's the funnest part of Tarkov without all the extra crap. Season missions are going to be extended, and upon completing them, you'll get a 2x2 container. So it sounds like there's going to be more missions this time around. Big overhaul and improvement to sound. The sound is not that bad in this game. You still get some goofy stuff. You still get some artifacting stuff. You still get some directional and especially vertical kind of audio issues with the game, but it's better than its competitors. Its Escape from Tarkov's audio has always been notoriously rough. So that's a lot better. People continuously ask, one of the big things is thermals in this game and red ammo, and they always are talking about them, and people always, like, everybody just wants them put on the getting off the market to where you have to only find them in raid to make them increasingly rare, tough to get, and also devastating if you lose them. They're not removing them. They want to talk about that and keep moving them. I worry that this is a way to get people to want to purchase coin because these things are so strong. I wish they would get thermals completely out of the game. I hate them so much. They're terrible. They have it. It's a lot better now where you can't ADS with it. Which ADS when you have a scope or a sight of any kind, but people are just using really low recoil HK builds with iron sights and still doing crazy stuff with thermals. I hate them so much. Red ammo is really similar too. I really wish they would do something about that. I can't help but think there's some money making reasons behind their decisions, because if you wanted to balance the game, if you wanted to fix it, you could at least try disabling them and removing them from the fleet. You could at least try it, right? And so they haven't done that. So there has to be another motive there, in my opinion. I was really surprised to hear them say there is a hideout system. I personally don't care about a hideout. I care about raids, fighting, good gameplay, dynamic stuff within raids, which is coming as well. But they are adding a hideout, and I have had several people say I wish they would add a hideout. So if that is the case, there you go. A hideout system that's going to be really basic is coming in July, and they're going to continue to expand on it. I would tend to believe this wasn't official. I would tend to believe that this could be crafting that's coming down the pipe. Dynamic mechanics in raids. This stuff is really cool. It's one of my favorite things about extraction shooters is when you set out to do one thing, an event or something goes on, a gunfight, a quest pops up, you find a key, something like that, that makes you change what you guys are doing in the raid and keeps it dynamic and every raid different. That's what I love about it. They're focusing on that, which is a really good sign. Dynamic mechanics in raids like universal keys and stims and injections. So maybe they're going to be adding these. That's all they said. So if I take that a step further, I'm hoping maybe they'll add like universal keys that you can find, or additional ways to purchase or buy universal keys so you can go check out rooms that you want to, that you otherwise wouldn't get to, locked behind incredibly expensive keys. Because then if you can check those rooms out, you might find something crazy. And you guys know extraction modes, the tension really takes it up a notch when you have something really valuable you're trying to get out with. And then they're going to be adding POIs and loot spots and stuff to kind of spread people out so people don't get caught in the same thing. They're going to be adding extractions and decreasing player numbers just a little bit. So that'll kind of give people breathing room and maybe kind of enhance the scenarios that can play out within a raid, right? Like if you have more loot spots, if you have more high tier loot and less players, people will be moving around the map a lot more. You can't read timing of spawns as good as you could, and it could lead to more unpredictability. I hope it doesn't lower the pace of combat, because one of my favorite things about the game is the pace of combat. We get into gunfights with other players like every single raid, and I really like that. Another thing that I was pleased to hear is they're going to be nerfing the blast radius of grenades, and maybe they're talking about removing the cooking mechanic. This is something that happened in Rainbow Six Siege, and they're also reducing the nades damage to armor. It can absolutely shred your armor in the game. Nades are very strong. I don't have a terrible like qualm with them right now because nades are kind of strong in real life. There's still things that nades can be tough to throw. There's been numerous times where I thought I would have somebody with a nade. They can hear you pull the pin, swing you while you're holding the nade, and you're toast. Tons of things like that, but nades are really, really, really strong. So I think seeing them nerf back just a little bit will help. Major changes to farm and TV station are coming. I was surprised to hear that. I kind of thought farm and TV were locked in maps, but they said they're making big changes to the map. There are a ton of other things here and there. I will remind you that when season 1 came out, one of the biggest things was a big graphical overhaul and optimization pass that they didn't even announce or talk about. I just opened the game in season 1 and it looked awesome and ran great. So there could be more and more things coming to this game. If this comes out, we got the new mechanics. They continue to do well with anti-cheat, which I have to admit, there are cheaters in every single FPS game, but this has to be the one that has the least amount of cheaters I come across. They do a really good job with that. They ban 5,000 to 8,000 people a week, which is disgusting. But with a free-to-play game, you would expect, you know, the ding-dongs are just making new accounts. This could be a great season, and if we're setting up to do a three-month cycle to get new content every 3 months, I think that's going to be great. Also, the one thing people are asking a lot about is Steam. Why is it not coming to Steam? They haven't said anything, right? Like, it's still probably going to be coming to Steam this year, I would do believe. I don't know if it's because they want to get stuff figured out, or if they don't want to get, you know, stuff figured out in the game and balanced before they bring it to Steam. If they're worried about negative reviews from some of the monetization practices, I don't know. Some of the reds and thermals might give rough Steam reviews. I don't know if they're keeping it on their launcher so they don't have to pay like the however many % Steam royalties for selling stuff through the microtransaction store. I don't know, but they're not talking about Steam. The only thing we do know about Steam is that the lead designer said when it does come out to Steam, if you're playing on the launcher, you'll be able to move your account over, especially when season 2 comes out, guys. I don't think there's any reason to wait on this. I've told you about the monetization practices that I disagree with, but at the end of the day, this is a game that you can have a ton of fun in for free. And I mean, I get the Steam thing to an extent, but at the same time, when I launch a game, I launch the launcher and in the game, whether I click on a Steam icon or the ABI launcher icon, it's the same amount of clicks to launch the game as it would be in Steam. So I don't think waiting for the Steam launch is something that you necessarily need to do. Tarkov has had its own launcher for the entirety of its development cycle. It's not that big a deal to launch the launcher and launch the game, in my opinion. And this game has a lot of quality of life stuff, and it is a true PvP action-packed shooter that is an extraction shooter that it's my favorite parts of all the extraction genres, man. Like fast stuff in the menus. You can get loaded up fast with kits, quick equip, get back in the match, fluid mechanics, well optimized, a lot of crazy gunfights, tons and tons of weapon and armor customization and stuff like that. I've just really, really been enjoying this game. I told you about the negative stuff. So there, you guys can make your own decision. If you made it to the end of this video, I cannot thank you enough. It's been tough, man. Not being able to have time to make videos about the Battlefield leaks and stuff like that. That's what I love talking about. But I just appreciate it, man. If you guys have made it to the end of the video, I can't thank you enough. If you stuck with the channel, if you've come over to the Twitch stream to say what's up, I appreciate it a lot. And coming by the podcast still, it really means a lot to me, man, that people still seek out my content, even though there hasn't been as much of it. So thank you. Hopefully we can get over this patch and get to the other side of things and keep working with videos, because I do truly love it and interacting with you guys. Yeah, I guess that's all I wanted to say for now. Again, come by the Twitch stream if you want to keep in touch, hang out, Discord as well, and the podcast on Thursdays. We're keeping up with that content. I'll quit rambling and stay blessed, guys. We'll see you on the next one.